Sup everybody? Hope all of y'all are doing undeniably fan-frickin-tastic out there. It's Monday and you know what that means. It's vlog day once again. But folks, this has been a very weird week. There's been a lot of bad mojo going on, a lot of weird mojo. There just ain't nothing making sense this week, okay? I know since I filmed the vlog last week, a lot of stuff has gone down, and I have been thinking about how I was going to talk about the stuff I need to talk about today. I was thinking about how the heck am I going to explain what needs explaining, and the more I started thinking about this stuff, a word kept popping into my head. I think it's a good adverb to describe a lot of the stuff that I need to talk about today, and that adverb is the word miraculously. Alright? I'm going to be using miraculously probably a lot in this vlog, but I don't know yet. I just got to see where my mind takes me, okay? But, yeah, like, update about last weekend, where I am today. We still don't have power, okay? We still don't have power at my house across the street. And I know I said that I can go over to my neighbor's house. He has power, technically, but I'm going to explain that neighbor situation in a minute. Because that's where I'm filming at right now, from my neighbor's house. Technically, I'm not wrong in that regard, but I'll explain that in a minute. Alright, but yeah, thankfully over here, we do got power. That ain't good. The light bulb shouldn't be sizzling right there. Might be going out soon, but that'd be ironic. Don't worry, there's two light bulbs up there. But yeah, last week I was showing y'all the extent of the damage done to my backyard from Hurricane Helene, and thankfully since I uploaded that vlog last week, Preacher Keith from my church and two other guys, they came by and they was able to help me get all that branch and all that. They'll able to help me get that branch cut back and moved out of the way. But as it stands right now, technically in my town area, it looks like we are the only ones without power. That sucks, alright? But yeah, like we are the only ones in the area without power, and unfortunately, because our case is so rare, Duke Power, they're not going to lift a finger to help us until an electrician comes by and fixes what they need to fix. Now, we already had 2 electricians come by already, and to my understanding, we're supposed to have 2 more on the way today. But, geez Louise. Alright. We had another electrician already in mind. Okay? We already had another electrician already in mind who gave us a fair price. And now, unfortunately, and somehow ironically, I guess, for ironic timing purposes, that man is now on medical leave. Like he's not actually out there, on the field doing his job because of medical issues. I don't know the extent of what's wrong. But, yeah, now that electrician is off the table for who knows how long. So now we are forced to find a replacement. Alright. So, right now everything is just confusing on that regard. We don't know how we're going to get power back yet. We're just weighing out our options and seeing how we're going to proceed going forward. Alright. But, now, I know last week, again, I was talking about if I need to charge anything, I can go to my neighbor's house, but it's been a lot more than just charging as of late. Alright, now I'm going to explain here in a minute. Alright, so a few times in the past here on Sup Everybody, I have talked briefly about this man named Donald. Okay. Now, Donald, he was my Aunt Jeanette's ex-husband. Okay. And they had a very nasty divorce about 30-something years ago. But now, back in '03, shortly after my grandma passed, my grandpa was, okay, shortly after my grandma passed back in 2003, Donald, he moved into the house with my grandpa. And at that time, my aunt was actually the full owner of my grandpa's house. So that means Donald had to pay rent to his ex-wife, apparently. That is a very crazy detail in its own right. So, yeah, Donald ends up having to pay rent to my Aunt Jeanette to live with my grandpa. Alright. So, 10 years passed from '03 to 2013. And then when my grandpa passed away, that's when the house became in my name. Alright. And of course, with everything transitioning, that means, yeah, Donald had to move out. Now, even in life, Donald was kind of a grumpy individual. And I think I think you know where I'm going with this. Yes, right now, Donald has passed away himself. He died back in January, and I'm already getting way too ahead of myself. But anyway, Grandpa passed away back in 2013, and from there, I don't know where Donald was staying at. But at that time, I had a couple of friends that were staying here. They're broke up now, but it was a friend I know from school named Jesse, and his girlfriend Joy, and man, I miss both of them. Like, they was very good friends to each other and very good friends to me, and I hung out with them a lot in this house. Okay, so anyway, something happens and they end up having to move out, and then after they moved out, that was Donald's opportunity to move back in here. That was either late 2014 or early 2015, one of those. And I know it was early 2015 because me and Donald, we watched WrestleMania 31 together in this house. So, yeah, Donald moves in here, and I don't know if my Aunt Jeanette had claimed this house too, or if it was Donald, if it was Donald paying rent, I don't know. That's the detail that's fuzzy to me. But anyway, Donald passes away earlier back in January, and now somehow this house is in my mom's name. Alright? And I think it's kind of fair considering that this house is in the name of my family once again, because dating back to when I was a baby, like even before that, this street that I'm living on was halfway dominated, and I know dominated might not be the right word. This street was somewhat, what's the word for it? Ran by my mom's side of the family, okay? Like, my Aunt Jeanette's house is right there out the window. My house was right across the street. My mom, she had a house right across the street next to what my grandpa's house was. You saw the destruction about how that house got taken down. So, my house was the green one, right next to that one. And then later on, further up the street was my Aunt Pat's house. Pat passed away in 2015. Matter of fact, I think maybe Pat passed away shortly before Donald moved in. I can't remember, but anyway, shortly after Pat passed away though, my cousin Billy was still staying there. Billy was Pat's son. Alright, now some of you may have seen Billy in the past before here on the channel. Like, Billy was the one that was in my bad middle finger commercial. But anyway, so Billy, unfortunately something bad happens and he ends up losing possession of Pat's house. He's now living in an apartment building not too far from here. But yeah, now that this house is in my mom's name, technically right now this house is kind of in the role of a storage building. Kinda. For now anyway. Like, this particular house, and heck, even when Donald was alive, he didn't really have much. This house was kind of like a little bit too big for somebody like him, I guess. But there was a lot of extra space that he was not using, that he really had no need for, I guess. But anyway, this house had 2 rooms for storage for my Aunt Jeanette. There was that room directly right here behind the camera, and this other room over here by the front door. Alright. So we had 2 rooms for storage for her in this house. Alright. But now it's kind of like done the same thing. It's in the same role now that Donald has passed away. Alright, this house has just been sitting over here. And right now, currently speaking, this house isn't exactly in living condition. Just to save on bills, I guess, the only utility that is on over here is just the power. Just the power. There's no running water over here. There's no gas over here. It's just the power. Okay, just the power for necessity only. Alright. So, miraculously, we've still been able to come over here and charge up what we need to charge up. But miraculously, thanks to this house, I have been able to get a good week of SSP content produced and planned for this week. That's why this green screen is up right here. Matter of fact, I was trying to find a good place to hang it, but this is the kitchen that I'm filming in right now, and right here behind this green screen is actually what was Donald's bedroom. Alright. Hey, once this house does get all cleaned up, and once this house does get all cleaned and straightened up and organized and whatnot, this house actually is a good house to live in. This place has 2 bathrooms. This house has 2 bathrooms. That's pretty cool. Alright. So anyway, that is the goal one day, to make this house livable, but right now it's just here. Okay, right now it's just a raw house. Alright, that's all it is. Alright. But thankfully it's getting the job done that it needs to get done. Alright. So that's where I am right now. I was able to go ahead. I knew as soon as everything was turning crappy with my power, I knew I had to go ahead and get started on making SSP content so I can go ahead and like focus on other things in my life. And right now, even though the power was an issue, I already had it planned in advance that this week of SSP content would be the only week of SSP content until we get to Halloween this year. Alright, now I already do have Halloween planned. Everything is already organized for now. And, well, not everything. I still got one major video I got to finish up with. But, my pattern of uploading every day of the week, every other week, it wasn't going to work for October. So after I upload this week, I'm just going to take a few weeks off so I can get ready for Halloween. Alright. There may be a couple ring ramblings in there, and of course stuff everybody's not going nowhere. But October's going to be very slow until we get to the very end. Alright? Because, like, folks, this might be my last October. This might be SSP's last October, because remember, like, that stipulation for the Halloween match coming up on the 31st, if I can't beat Michael Myers, that's it. I gotta split before May. I gotta split before June gets here. Okay. So, yeah, that's where I am right now. But I knew as soon as the power came back on for the street, I knew I had to come over here and start getting everything ready for this week. All right. The first thing I did, I got my mini TV, I got my PS2, I came over here and I filmed an episode of OSG ready to go. And yeah, that part's already filmed and edited. It's ready. So tomorrow you're going to be seeing a music video. Wednesday you're going to be able to see an episode of Wish for Granted. Thursday you're going to see OSG. Friday might be an episode of I Draw for Peter Griffin. Saturday I think is Ring Ramblings for Wrestle Dream. And Sunday I need to have an emergency meeting with all the other SSP characters. I need to explain the situation about what might happen if I do end up losing to Michael Myers. Alright, so y'all tune in for the emergency meeting. Hopefully some answers are going to be given for... Hopefully some answers are going to be given going forward, alright? So I do got like a lot of stuff on my plate this week, alright? And shout out to Queen Enterprises, like, heck, she didn't have power either, okay? I just learned that she got her power back last night. Awesome. Alright. Me and her, we was kind of joking with each other. I was like, hey, bae, who's going to get their power turned on first? She didn't know, but now she's got power, and technically I don't. I mean, yeah, I do, but I got to walk across the street for it. I mean, yeah, like, so... Yeah, since the power's been out though, I had to throw everything out of my fridge. Like, we have no fridge. And by the way, there's no fridge over here either. I mean, yeah, we got Jeanette's deep freeze over here filled with her meat that she's probably not going to eat anything of. Like, I got to ask her this. Like, I don't know when she's going to eat everything in this freezer. Like, that's the main goal. Like, I just want to challenge her to name one thing that's on the very bottom of this deep freeze and say, hey, cook that. But, yeah, like there was no fridge over here either. But thankfully, there's been some very nice people in my church that have been able to hook us up this week with food, okay? Somebody came by and they gave us a cooler with some ice in it, and now we have sandwich material. They gave us some mayonnaise, bologna, cheese. That was cool of them. Alright. But then my mom, she was talking to another friend who she ended up sending some stuff as well. Like some non-perishable items like bread buns and whatever, and peanut butter and jelly, stuff like that. But then that same day, that same lady, she made a surprise order. She sent Pizza Hut delivery to our house. Like that was crazy and that was insane. That was awesome. Okay, like she sent one of those big dinner boxes. Okay. Matter of fact, you know what? I haven't had breakfast yet. Let me go get my breakfast right quick. Hold up. Still 2 slices left. Alright. When she sent that big dinner box, it had like the deep dish pizza slices in it. It had some chicken Alfredo pasta in it. I never had pizza with chicken Alfredo pasta. That was amazing. And she also sent dessert too, which was amazing. Thank you. Ended up getting a cookie pie. Mm. So whomever it was that was showing us support and coming out to help out, from the tree branches to hooking us up with the cooler and ice and all the groceries, thank you. We appreciate it a lot. No lie. But yeah, good news though. I was still able to watch Bad Blood last night. I was. And I was able to watch Bad Blood last night, and it was an amazing event. Yeah, I freaking love Bad Blood. I wasn't expecting the Hell in a Cell match to be first, but whatever. That match was crazy. It was insane. In this new era of WWE, I felt like I wasn't supposed to be watching what I was watching. So Punk and Drew, they brought it. The hype was worth it. Alright. Man, I'm telling you, once Tiffany Stratton gets out from Nia Jax, her babyface pop is going to be huge. Alright. They teased it heavily in Nia's match with Bayley. I'm glad that Damian Priest was able to beat Finn Balor. But yo, like, respectfully, Rhea Ripley is an idiot. I'm trying to say that the nicest way possible, but respectfully, Rhea Ripley is an idiot. She forgot the assignment. Dirty Dominic, he was up there in the shark cage. He somehow managed to escape, but then he was dangling from one foot. Okay, he was dangling from one foot, and then Rhea wanted to turn him into a piñata. Rhea Ripley had Liv Morgan beat. She had her beat. She could have just pinned her right on the spot. But no, that wasn't the case at all. She just had to go get distracted by Dominic, who wasn't even doing anything except just hanging around, literally. So because Rhea Ripley forgot the assignment, she ended up losing to Liv Morgan. Now look, that's one thing I want to see in WWE going forward. Like, I need to see some of these baby faces actually take accountability. Like, dadgummit, are we forgetting that Rhea Ripley was heel when she injured Liv Morgan to begin with? Are we forgetting that? Like, come on, Rhea, like, take some accountability, please. Like, geez Louise. If you're doing something bad to someone, don't be surprised if something bad happens to you in return. Okay? Alright. So, welcome back, Jimmy Uso. Welcome back, Jimmy Uso. The main event was awesome, and I'm glad that Jacob Fatu was getting more screen time, and they're even letting him talk more going forward. And The Rock literally just showed up just to wave and say goodbye. Like, it's that Blue Mouse from Cat Dog meme. He just walked in just to say hi and just walked right back out again. And I'm not gonna lie, the idea of Goldberg versus Gunther is hilarious, and I wouldn't mind seeing it. I know I might be one of Goldberg's biggest haters, like as far as the in-ring work goes. But man, somehow seeing Gunther tease Goldberg, I don't know how they did it, but somehow even in Triple H's regime, even he is finding a way to make me chant Goldberg. Screw you, Gunther. Why you gotta be such a good heel? Alright. But, yeah, I am going to be seeing Queen Enterprises this month. Actually, this week anyway. I'm supposed to be going with her to the fair this weekend. We are going to go to the fair this weekend, and we are going to go ride a few rides up there. We're going to go to the fair this weekend. And you will see Queen Enterprises on the vlog next week, guaranteed. Alright? Can't talk with my mouth full. Alright, so, yeah. Y'all stay tuned to SSP. Good week of content coming up. And, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, make sure all of you remember to be outrageously optimistic year round. Booyah. I'm out.